Hey guys, it's Blayde again from Car Audio Security, and today we are looking at the one and only flip-out screen on the market for Japanese branded stereos, the Pioneer AVH-Z7200. So, as I've said, this is the only branded flip-out motorized screen on the market at the moment. So, flip-out motorized screen meaning it flips out. So it's a single-in chassis unit with a 7-inch display that is motorized on a pivot point. You can actually tilt the screen and change how it sits, and this is perfect for the old school vehicles that you're looking to get a screen in but you've only got a singled-in aperture, or just something that you're looking to have that old school vibe of a flip-out screen that no one really does anymore. So this unit is actually around 5 years old, but is still a absolutely fantastic unit. It's one of the most popular units from Pioneer. Being a flip out screen as well is a very, very good thing about that. Now this also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Even though it is a good few years old, it still has that. It is not wireless, unfortunately, but we do offer wireless dongles that work on these. It does have Bluetooth streaming, really, really good audio capabilities. You've got 3 pre-outs on the back as well, and all of the features you would need in a screen like this. So let's get the box open, show you what comes inside, we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got the contents of the box laid out in front of me. So let's start on my right hand side. First of all, you have this little silver box. Now, what this actually is because this unit has so many features jam-packed into a singled-in aperture, and basically what this is where your AM, FM and DAB aerial connects to. So this unit does have DAB as well, but this basically is like a FM transmitter box essentially. So you have a little extension for your aerial that comes with it. You can plug that in and plug that in wherever you need to. So this can hide behind the dash somewhere, and the actual unit comes with the cable that this attaches to. This is something that has to be connected, otherwise the unit will not power on correctly, but make sure you don't lose this. Next we have the USB extension. So this is a USB-A male to female extension that plugs into the back of the unit and then can go around into your glove box or center console area. This is where you would connect your phone for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, or even just to play a USB stick. This is about 1.5 meters long. It's more than long enough to get into the areas that you would need it for. But just remember, this unit is only wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you will definitely need this. Next, you have a little pack of screws. So these screws are pretty important, especially being Pioneer. They have specific threads in the side of the unit. So if you do end up needing to use a fascia that has side brackets that you screw on rather than using a cage, then you will need to use these screws, so do not lose these. Another thing about screws, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Next, you have the loom. This is a normal Pioneer loom, plugs into the back of the unit and terminates to an ISO. So ISO is a universal Japanese branded plug, which you would use all of the adapters to go into your vehicle. Now, most older cars will actually have an ISO in them. Newer vehicles won't, so you will need to buy an adapter for that. Next, you have standard issue Pioneer microphone. Again, plugs into the back of the unit. So we normally put this up by the sun visor or by the center mirror, so that way a person on a phone call can hear you. This does have hands-free calls as well as Bluetooth streaming. Next, you have a plethora of different information booklets. The main one you're going to want though is probably this one here. Gives you all of the info on the unit itself, so if you do get stuck, all the info is going to be in here. And then you have the unit itself. So this is a singled-in aperture, quite a weighty unit as well, and weight is always a good sign of reliability. Being a good Pioneer unit, this thing is going to last you a long, long time. So it's a full-size singled-in chassis, so you will need to make sure you do have enough depth for this to go all the way back. And then on the back of the unit, you have all your connections. So this is the extension for that FM, AM, DAB box that I was telling you about earlier. Again, this is about 1 meter long. So more than enough length for you to hide that box away somewhere. These are all of your inputs and outputs. So as I said, this unit's got 3 pre-outs. I believe this is a 2.5 or 3 volt pre-out on this unit. So you've got 2 for front, 2 for rear, and 2 for sub. You also have the ability to add a reversing camera to this unit and also a video input as well. Next to that, you have this little black extension here. This is for an aux input. If you have an auxiliary audio source of some kind, even just an aux cable, you can use that. And then beside that, you have a rear monitor output. So this also has a video output. So as well as a video input, so you can send a video source from something, you can also send a video output to something. So for instance, an old school PlayStation or Xbox, you have the video input there as well as an audio input. That's what that aux is for. And then you have a video output, so if you want to send that video out to something, so rear screens for instance, you can do that. And then beside that, you have your main power loom input, and then you've got a nice fan on the back to keep the unit nice and cool. Now the unit comes with the cage already on it. Now as I was saying earlier about screws, I will show you in a moment when I take this plastic film off the front. Behind the trim, there is two very, very small plastic screws. This is one of the only units that actually has this kind of locking mechanism, but that's actually how the unit locks to the cage itself. If you lose those screws, you're in for a bad day because you cannot lock the unit to the cage without them screws. So let's do the fun part, taking this plastic off. Okay, so you are left with this little blue ribbon here. That's just to kind of hold the unit in place. You take that off and then you can power the unit up and the screen will flip out as needed. So really nice gloss black finish, really, really high quality finish on this unit. You've got this really nice volume control knob on the left-hand side of the unit. You have a skip and rewind track button, and your volume control also acts as a source change or press and hold for turning the unit on and off. This center panel here, this has a multi-use button in the middle, so that gets you back to the home screen. The button on the left is for changing sources, and the button on the right is for the screen display options. And then this button here, because this unit is a CD and DVD player as well, is to eject or insert your CD or DVD. So once the trim's off, you should be able to see these 4 screws on the ends here. These are the 4 screws that are very, very important. So for you to detach the cage and put the cage in first when you're installing it, you will need to unscrew them. Just be very careful not to lose them. So another really nice thing about this unit, before we go and actually install it into a vehicle, is this has a kind of security feature like you'd find in old school units. So this center panel here actually clips off, comes off one side, there we go. So on the right hand side of the panel, if you just lift that off, this piece comes off. Now this unit is not working, it's a brick basically. So if you want a peace of mind when this is in your vehicle and you don't want it to be stolen, take this piece off, chuck it in your pocket, chuck it in your bag, keep it with you, and then you can just clip it back in, go into the left hand side first, like so, clip it in and the unit will turn straight on. So that's enough talking about the unit. Let's take it downstairs, install it into a vehicle that will look very, very nice with this in there, and we'll show you how it all works. Alright, so we are using our black R129 SL for this demonstration. We have installed the Z7200 in here, so let's turn the car on and show you how it works. So as you can see, on ignition, start up, the unit will open the face straight away, and then you've got the Pioneer warning screen, and then the unit boots up. So it's a very fast boot up, which is really nice to see. You have multiple sources on this unit, so we can go into the home screen, press the center button to go into that home screen, and then that is your main home screen that you can choose your main sources through. So this unit does have DAB. We're not going to pick up any signal in here because there is no signal in this workshop because of the LED lights. And then you can tap on this section here to then choose a different source. So if you want Bluetooth audio, or if you want radio, if you want Spotify, you've got all of them different sources, and you can scroll down, you can actually power off the unit through there as well. But if you go back to the home screen, what I'll do as well, just to show you, connect my phone up for Android Auto. So because it's just a cable, it's the same process for Apple CarPlay. I have an Android phone, so just going to use that. Connect your phone to the USB port. We run it around out the side cheek here. There we go. So that is Waze on at the moment. I can go into my Spotify, I can go into my phone book, I can do whatever I need to. Then you can do the split screen setup, then you can go into the full menu. So that's Android Auto. You can then go back into the home screen, jump back into Android Auto as you need to, or you can listen to the radio in the background and then also have Android Auto on at the same time. So just to show you the versatility of the unit as well, I'll show you how to actually adjust the screen because it is motorized. So what you do, this open and close button here, if you press and hold it, it brings up the options to adjust the screen. So if we want to move the screen further in, we can do that. Further out, we can do that. We can also tilt the screen in different orientations, however we need it. And then for instance, in this vehicle, the climate controls are actually behind this screen. So if we need to quickly access them, we can tap that and then tap that again to come back up. And then if you want to keep the unit on but actually close the screen, you just tap that. The unit stays on, everything still plays, but the unit goes inside and just looks like a singled in unit. Another really nice thing about this unit is it's not just a set color illumination on the buttons underneath, you can actually change that. So if you go into the cog here, that's for your settings, you can go into theme, you can go into illumination, you can actually change that color to whatever you want to. So if you want it blue, red, or you can actually completely customize it, it's fully RGB, so you can change it to whatever color you'd like. So let's set it to orange because the car illuminates orange when it's on. You can then change the theme for the background, so if you want that the same color, or if you want like a contrasting color like blue for instance. Background, you can change that to whatever you like, and then the clock, you can change that as well. And then as I said, audio settings are really good on this unit. So you have a 13-band graphic EQ which you can adjust. So you have a few presets in there and you have 2 custom ones which you can set yourself. So if you then just tap on it, you can then select whatever band you want. Let's say we want to adjust 8K and bring that back up a bit. I'll bring that back down. If we want 500 Hertz, bring that down, bring that back up. And then you can go to custom 2, custom 1. As well as that, you've got fader and balance, mute, source level adjust. You can turn the subwoofer pre-out on and off. You can adjust the speaker level as well. So you tap on there. You can reduce level of certain speakers if you'd like. Crossover adjustment, you've got front, rear and subwoofer adjustment for crossover. You can also change the listening position. So it's time alignment adjustment, it's front right, front left or all, or you can just turn it off completely. So you've also got actual time alignment adjustment. So if you really want to go into it and measure each speaker, if you're doing a full audio setup and actually set the time alignment via measurements, you can do that. You can set each individual side to be whatever measurement you'd like, and then you can set that as a preset to be front or all, or front right, front left. You also have a save setting and load setting option, which is really nice. So even if you disconnect the battery or anything like that, it has an internal memory, so you can actually save the presets that you've set on this unit, and then you can load it back on if you do end up disconnecting the battery. You have a bass boost option, loudness adjustment, automatic level control, and then sound retriever. Very high spec audio adjustment on this unit. You also have normal system settings, like you can turn the beep off. I know a lot of people don't like the beep. You can turn the auto flap on and off, so that means when you turn the ignition on, it won't automatically come up and won't automatically go down. Driving position, you can change that for the use of Android Auto or CarPlay, so everything moves over to the right hand side. Android Auto launch, and then you can also set different settings as favorites, which is a really nice thing to have, so you don't have to go deep into a menu to find something. Let's say for instance you want to set your crossover as a favorite, so you don't have to go through and scroll to it, you just hit that star and then go up to this star and your crossover is right here. Let's say we want crossover and graphic EQ. They're both there, ready to go. So as I've said, down here you've got all the different functions. You can adjust the volume via this volume control. Also with the volume, it does give you this little section here to adjust your guidance volume, or if you're in a phone call as well, you can actually adjust that physical phone call volume, so you're not having to turn it up and down all the time. You can set it as one setting and it doesn't matter what volume you're at. It's not going to be blaring or really, really quiet. Skip and rewind works as normal. You can skip that track by hitting that button. You also have this mic button here, which uses Google or Siri. If you press this button here, that will go through your 2 available sources. So we've got Android Auto and radio. That will just flick between them, so you don't have to again keep going back and forth. This button here is your back button. So let's say for instance we're in a menu and we want to go back, just hit that. That goes back to your main screen, and then that is your disc eject button. So you do have the CD DVD player just down here. If you take this panel off, as I said earlier, that turns the unit off completely. So whether the ignition's on or off, it doesn't matter, the unit will not turn on. And then you can pop that back in, like so. Press the on button and that'll all turn back on. So really, really good unit for these kind of vehicles. If you're looking to, like for instance, this car, you can't really put a doubled in there without cutting stuff up and moving stuff around. So really, really easy way of having a doubled in size screen, 7-inch display. Having the ability to have CarPlay and Android Auto in an older vehicle is really nice as well. And it looks period correct when you close it. It doesn't look like anything fancy. It really, really works in the car, and especially if you've got a massive audio system or even just a basic audio system, you can make the system sound 10 times better with just this head unit. Most people will be asking about price point. Now, this being the only flip out screen on the market, it is priced to reference that. So the price is $579.99 for this unit. Now, you may think that's quite expensive for a relatively old unit with CarPlay, but you have to remember this is the only available motorized flip out screen branded on the market at the moment. So it's kind of one of a kind, last of its kind. It's a good investment, I think. Something like this is probably not going to come back into the market once this is finished. So if you get hold of one of these, it's probably going to hold its value. So this unit looks great in all sorts of different vehicles. We've installed it into numerous cars such as Range Rover P38s look great, W124s and A124 Mercs, they look fantastic in those. Done one recently in a Triumph Stag, and also in a TVR, we also fitted one. So as you can probably see from the pictures, they fit and suit the cars down to the ground. And to compare it with something like a fixed floating screen, which is becoming pretty popular, they range from £600 upwards anyway. So you're going to get best of both worlds, bigger screen in the vehicle with a single DIN aperture, but you've got the motorized thing, you've got a CD/DVD player as well. It's a very, very high spec unit. In reality, just under 600 quid really isn't too bad. So if you do want some more information about this unit, you can find it on our website at caraudiosecurity.com. We will put a link in the description below as well, so you guys can check it out. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.